everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to share with you some book finds that I got yesterday at an op shop and some other books too. This is sort of a bit of show and tell and a video request from one of my beautiful subscribers who wanted to know what types of books I look for when making journals. So in this video I'm going to share the covers that I'm looking for when I want to make a journal cover. And then in a later video, I'll show you some books that I look for in terms of pages to go inside of those journal covers. So let me first share with you the books that I got yesterday from the op shop. Okay, here we go. There's 3 op shops where I live, and one of them didn't have anything, and a second one was closed. And I was amazed I found all 3 of these at the one op shop, and I was looking for some books to make some personal journals out of because I don't have anything suitable in my own collection. What I'm looking to do is make myself, in particular, a book journal where I write about the books that I read, and I wanted to use an actual book cover for that journal because, you know, I'm writing about books, so I thought that would be fitting. Then I also want to have a journal for a list journal, so writing about different things that inspire me, or gratitude lists, or things I see, things I notice, 5 lessons or 10 moments I want to remember, or 3 foods that I love at the moment, or anything like that. And then another one I wanted to have for questions and requests that I get from friends and subscribers, to answer them and do page spreads, and if people give me prompts, to do that in another journal. So I've got all of these, not sure what will go in which, but I thought I've got 3 books for 3 projects for 3 projects. Let me show you what they look like. This one, I couldn't go past. Vintage book, 1925. I love it when they've got inscriptions here and things like that. It's been passed around from op shop to op shop, it looks like, and got a few little illustrations, but gorgeous. I love the font and the page color. So I'll reuse all of the pages as well. I know not everyone likes the idea of books being cut up, so stop watching if that's you and if it's going to be painful. But I love giving them new life, giving them new purpose, and putting my own stories in them, or if I create them for other people, so that they can put their own stories in them. And I will be reusing every page, so you know, I'll be using these for collage and pages in journals and crafty projects, so they're all going to be very, very loved. They will be loved pages, just in a different way. This one I just fell in love with the color, so I'm loving the teal and the mint color at the moment, so this is perfect for that. Yay, loving that color. And then this one had a similar color. This was free, actually. It was in a free box at the op shop. So yeah, it's a similar color to this, just a bit darker. And yeah, I guess it's free because the spine was ripped. But as junk journalers, we know how to fix that. We can either make our own spine or reinforce it, cover it with fabric, tape, whatever. I love how these pages are quite distressed looking at the edges. Again, I can reuse these pages. I like how there's 3 different sizes, so I can, you know, choose which journal I use for which book. So that's what I got yesterday. And then I had a look around, and I had these 3 other books that I found. Well, not found. These were in my collection already from past thrift shop buys, vintage shop buys. This one I got from a vintage place or an antique place. This one I got from a bookshop that also has quite an extensive vintage selection. So this is one of the vintage books. And then this one was just a great find in another op shop because I love ballet, and just look at the cover. These 2 were actually covered in paper, so I didn't quite know what was underneath, or I forgot what was underneath. So when I was hunting for books, I didn't remember I had these, but I wouldn't use these for these types of journals that I want to do anyway, because this one's too big and this one's too thin, and it's about ballet. So I want to do like a ballet book or a dreams book for that one. And I was considering using this one for one of these journals that I want to do, But I was just getting too precious about it. I was just like, this is the only book I have that I could use, that could work. It's a nice size, that could work for either a list journal or for a book journal or for answering prompts and questions from listeners or subscribers. But I was like, oh, but it's the only one I have. I don't want to ruin it. So the way I solve that problem is to get multiples and to get cheap things. This one's actually quite special because, you know, it's vintage. It was a bit more expensive, and it's got these gorgeous floral images. And I thought maybe I could do a flower journal for this one. Whereas these were just really cheap at the, you know, free at the op shop. These two in particular. This one's a little bit more special because it's vintage and that inscription and all that kind of stuff. But these two I'm fine just, you know, doing my own thing with these, so no problem. And then maybe I'll figure out what I'm going to do with these two. But anyway, when I got home, I just looked at the colours and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take a photo of that. Look at these beautiful colours. And then I just wanted to, I was sitting on my desk like this, waiting for me to film them today. And I'm just like, I just want to like have them as decoration in my room, these spines, just sit them on a shelf like that. And then this morning, before I started filming this video, I was just looking through my bookshelf going, what other colours would go? This one's perfect, isn't it? This one just goes so well with this colour scheme. Oh my goodness. And then I'm a blue girl as well. Blue, teal, mint, aqua. It's probably, this is too royal blue. I'm not a big fan of royal blue. I like light blue better. And green blues I like. This is a bit too rich of a blue for me, but I love it. I really like this stack. So I'm thinking, since they're all going to be personal journals anyway, I'm going to make a special spot on my shelf to put these. And I really want to get into making more book journals at the moment, whether I strip the pages or whether I do altered books where I keep the pages in and just journal on top of them. And obviously I have to rip out some to make room. I want to do more of that type of journaling. So we'll see how we go. In terms of what I'm looking for, so let's get to that part of the video. What I'm looking for, obviously, covers that I like personally. So this is such a cool cover with that kind of embossing, or I don't know what you call that, reverse embossing. You know, this is just really pretty. These ones I'm looking for the colour. These colours are beautiful. Obviously, if it's a topic that I like, I'll get it. This one, Treasury of Songs and Lyrics. You know, just hardcover books that are sturdy, that are interesting or beautiful to me in some way, whether it's the colour, the design. And then the other thing that I'm looking for, so I always have to open it. Let's use this one as an example. So I'm looking at the binding and if it can be pulled away from that spine. So all I need to do to remove these pages, if I'm going to remove them to add my own pages, is cut down here and cut down there. That's what I'm looking for. If it's a book where this is glued into that spine, I don't think I can use those ones. I think there is a way to be able to use them to take out the pages, but I want to keep, like if you redid the spine, like I'm looking for books where I can just easily take out the pages and the spine is intact, the book cover is ready to go to make a new journal. But honestly, as junk journalers, as journal makers, you can work with anything. It just might mean you have to put back the book together or make your own spine for it. Even like this one, I usually don't go for books like this if they're ripped up, but because it's going to be a personal journal, I can either cover that with lace or fabric. I'm not going to make my own spine for this. I want to keep it as intact as possible. Or I could just get some tape and just tape it up if I want. Again, it's a personal journal. I like the idea of just taping this up, in fact. Washi tape, clear tape, anything. Masking tape, I'm fine with that because I kind of like seeing that. Yeah, I might use this one for my book journal because it's like a classic book. Even though I don't like the classics, I wish I did. I'm a big book reader, right? I've been reading books my whole life. This is a very chatty video. And I always wanted to get into the classics, you know, but when I tried reading them, oh man, they're a slog. I found them quite boring and hard to read, and just the topic matter, it didn't interest me. But there was one, like I tried Pride and Prejudice. I know there's like Emma and Sense and Sensibility. I've read Wuthering Heights. I had to read that for literature when I was at uni, and it was okay. Could have done without it, but mildly interesting. The one classic that I do like though is The Picture of Dorian Gray. That kept me interested. Anyway, so Jane Eyre, not interested, but it's a classic, so I thought this would work well for a book journal. Maybe. Then I thought maybe this one could be my answering prompts from subscribers, answering their questions in here. And then I thought this one could be my list journal. I don't know, maybe that will change. Anyway, where was I going with this? So yeah, I look for the cover, looking at the outside, that it's in good shape, mostly for the most part, and that mostly that it's going to hold together. That's what I'm looking for. I've already cut up some pages in this for some journals, but yeah, just making sure it can pull away. Sometimes they're so old that you can literally just rip it out, but I get scissors and cut down there. So yeah, I hope that is helpful. I'm also looking at like the end papers. Let's use this one again. That they're intact and that they're not grubby. Sometimes you open them up and they're full of like bugs and dust and stuff. You never know what you're going to get at the op shop. And just that this can pull away easily from that spine. I hope that was helpful. If you want any more information or any more detail on the books I look for in terms of covers, feel free to put them in the comments. And yeah, like I said, I'll be back later on showing you books that I look for in terms of pages. But if you have any other questions about anything that I look for, how I make journals, any of the process that you want to know about, happy to answer. And if possible, I will do a video because that's more fun. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing really well. I'm so excited to make room on my shelf for these books and get started with ideas. Another thing that I'm a little hesitant about with starting these journals is that I don't know how exactly to put pages in them. I like the idea of, you know, filling them up with all my favorite pages, the vintage pages, the gorgeous, beautiful pages. But when it comes to my personal journaling style, I actually just prefer plain white pages because then it's like a clean blank canvas. I'm not afraid of covering up the beautiful pages. I just know that, yeah, the most user-friendly pages for me, the most functional, are the white pages, but that's kind of boring, especially when you've got the beautiful vintage book. So I want to have some interest in there, but I don't know. So that's another thing that's kind of stalling me with using these. So I'll have to have a think about that. And I feel like I also need to clean out my supplies first so that I can find all of my papers that I want to use and put them in piles and organize them into which cover goes with which pages and choose the pages to go with each theme that I'm working with. Like, I don't know, it might take me a while to actually put these together, but I'm excited to have these books. Really excited. I just love the idea of having pretty books to look at on my shelf as well. So I'm getting into that now. Yes, anyway. Hope you're doing well. I'm rambling. Thank you so much for being here and watching and spending time with me. Have fun looking for your own books for journals, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to journal your life because your stories matter. And my other catchphrase is share your stories in your journal. I can't remember what it is. I'll come up with a better one for that. Okay, bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in July and allowed me to work full-time on this channel for yet another month. If you would like to become a patron in August and get access to videos, printables, and sneak peeks, first access to all my creations, at the Ruby tier you get every single digital kit from my Etsy plus a new one every month. There's also personal updates and behind the scenes looks, so feel free to sign up. The link is down below in the description box.